Hey everybody, I'm Jamilah, your realtor.
And I'm Jazmyn, your interior designer.
And welcome back to the In Your Space podcast, where we focus on bringing you the real in real estate.
And interior design, of course. Hi.
Hi, Jazmyn.
Hi, Jamilah.
Hi, Jazmyn.
Hi.
Okay. Hey.
What's up?
I'm good.
Are you?
Nice to see you again.
How's your week?
Interesting.
Okay, why?
Honestly, market seems like it's slowing down, but I just picked up a few new clients. So that is
very nice. Yeah, I don't got the
where's
bell.
the bell?
Boop, boop,
Where's
boop.
the bell? Ring the bell. So yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's gonna be a great fourth quarter for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
We love to hear it.
How about you?
Good. Today I had a photo shoot for one of the projects that we just wrapped up, and I'm so happy. I'm so excited to see all of the finished pictures. It was glorious.
You are so humble right now because I saw those. Listen, I was FaceTimed, y'all. I was FaceTimed, and I got to see all of the glory, and it was glorious.
I loved it. And they were so complimentary. My clients were. They were very happy with it. So that's all we can hope for at the end of the day. And by we, I mean me.
Are we able to get a picture of really?
That really depends on the editing by my photographer.
All I know.
She's backed up. So whenever she gets them to me, I will be shooting them out.
All I know, that tile and the colors and the butcher block countertop, that was pretty sexy.
Spoiler alert.
Hey,
no, I'm just kidding. Anybody who's, you guys have probably seen parts of it anyway. But yeah, when she does her magic, I will be shooting them out to everybody on social media and on my website. So I'm very excited. So yeah, we're in a good place.
It's gorgeous. Awesome.
All right. So Jamilah, today, let's get into the opening segment. Can you guess what it is?
No.
You don't want to try?
No.
Okay. Well, we're going to do Get This Look.
I don't need to guess. I already saw it.
I just said, do you know what it is? And you said no.
I lied.
My God. Okay,
Anyway,
Get This Look.
Get this look.
All right, so Jamilah, first of all, before you bring it up, I just want to preface this to say, I asked Jamilah if she saw this before,
my God.
and she told me she did not recognize the person who Get This Look is based on. And I was highly offended.
I am getting slaughtered.
Highly
right now.
offended. All right, go ahead and bring it up, because once they see, they're going to be just as disappointed in you.
First of all, you are slaughtering me. It is not fair. I did not notice on first glance.
Come on. So first of all, I'll say this is one of the most iconic wedding dress
my hero.
looks I've ever seen. I love. So anybody who can't see this is Carrie Bradshaw on her wedding day, Sex and the City, the movie. She's got the blue feather, and she's got this haute couture. I think this is a Vera Wang dress. Is it Vera Wang?
I vaguely remember it being Vera Wang.
But okay, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But either way, stunning dress, just super glamorous and chic and just ridiculous, stylish, just as much as Carrie is in the whole series. So I was obsessed, and I was inspired to create this glam bedroom that's basically harkens back to like the luxury of old New York City, right? Everything about this, from the color choices, the pop of that turquoise, which reflects the feather, wall molding, just to the T, this antique mirror. Jamilah, I can't finish. Yes. What is it? What is it?
I know. I kill all your excitement.
What is it?
Okay. As amazingly stunning and elegant this is, I only have one criticism.
All right. What is it? I'm ready.
She's like, all right.
What is it?
Where's the bird?
Why would I have a bird in a bedroom?
You just said that she has feathers in her hair. And do you remember that epic scene where the bird fell out of her hair?
When she was hitting him with the flowers.
Yes,
of course I remember.
So I'm just kind of surprised. You got the colors, but I'm surprised
I didn't
there's no
think
bird.
I had to be super literal with my interpretation. I thought just a reference because,
I just figured I'd give you a hard time.
I mean, it's your favorite thing to do.
But no, this is gorgeous. This is absolutely
I'm so
stunning.
very happy. Yeah, let's get this look, guys. What do you guys think of this bedroom? I mean, is this something that you would be into? I know Jamilah's not into it, but you're not into it.
I would be into staying in a place like this. Absolutely. Especially like since you you used Carrie Bradshaw, the Carrie Bradshaw in the wedding look, the iconic wedding look.
Now she knows who Carrie Bradshaw is.
Wow.
Guys.
Let me play you real quick. Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yes, ma'am.
And I share a birthday. I know exactly who she is. Thank you very much.
Okay, so she would be very disappointed to know that you did not recognize her on site.
All of the shade. Whatever.
Go ahead.
I think this would be, just great. A great design. For any home, but obviously, if there was some type of suite in a hotel that was the Carrie Bradshaw suite, yes. What am I, stupid? I got this.
Come on now. This is copyrighted. Y'all see that watermark at the top? No, I'm just kidding.
See it.
All right. Well, thank you for humoring me.
You're welcome.
Get This Look. I had a good time. So today's topic, we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna talk about the pros and cons of new construction. All right, so a little bit of background. I recently, for people who haven't really been listening that much, recently just built our home that we're in now. And I, have built before. This isn't my first new build. It's not even my second new build. This is our third new build. I've been in this process multiple times. What are you looking at me like that for, Jamilah?
You are so distracted by my face.
I can't. She's making so many facial expressions. What is it?
Wow. Never. Okay, no, your first. I thought you told me your first home was it a resale?
Mm-mm.
Wow. You are new build guru over here.
I know all the things.
All right.
So that kind of, allows me to come at it with the perspective. I've been around the block a time or three with this process.
A couple cul-de-sacs. You're welcome.
With this process. So I figured I would come to you guys with the pros and cons of a new build from a designer's perspective. So no, it's not all encompassing from the perspective of what, you should look for in a new build and all that stuff. It's really, as a designer, what are the things that I like about having a new construction home and what are the things that I'm not a fan of having a new construction home. But before we get into it, Jamilah, how do you feel about new construction? Have you ever owned a new construction home? How do you feel about it?
Wow. Technically, yes, I've owned a new construction home.
Okay.
I was not excited about it.
Why not?
Well, number one, that's just not my bag.
It's not your bag. Okay.
My bag is I want something that is a shell and I want to make it mine. And granted, you could say it's something like a new construction because you're literally building this thing from scratch.
Right.
But it's not necessarily from scratch. But it's not necessarily my bag. The new construction homes nowadays, to me, I just don't think that they have as much character or charm as the homes that were built previously. Like those 1900 homes with all of that extra effort and architectural stuff.
Yeah.
Like that does it for me. So, and it's not to, rag on anybody that likes new construction, but it's not for everybody.
It's not.
When I was a part of this purchasing process with a new construction home, I was very sad because I thought it was so cookie cutter. Number one, it was like super vanilla cookie cutter to me. And number two, it was, it wasn't a cul-de-sac, but it just, the area that we were in, there were no streets. So I like walkability. And maybe I can ride my bike and walk in that area, but it wasn't like I could walk to a shop small district or something. So you're not really going to get new construction in a shop small district.
Okay, so I have I've had experiences in like new construction where you're in the burbs, right? Yeah. Like there is nothing but drivable locations. You not a whole lot of sidewalks where you could be walking from home to get, grab something from the grocery store or something like that. But I have been like looking, I did not purchase these particular like the twin homes, like the townhomes that they build in city or metro areas that are closer to,
Which you're correct.
Yeah.
So thank you for correcting me. And I was just gonna say, for the most part, in the suburbs, you have a lot of spot building,
right?
Spec homes, empty lot, build a home.
Yes.
But what I was referring to was that whole cul-de-sac community living. I just bought a whole farm plot from a farmer kind of deal. We built it up.
Okay.
Boom. You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I don't dispute many of the things that you say. In fact, some of them are brought out into my pros and cons, but let's go ahead and get into it. Some of the things that I think are pros to a new construction home is everything is brand new. It's new. It's clean. You don't have to worry about cleaning up after somebody else's dog hair that they left, or, there's no odor from someone else's, meals or their cuisine or whatever. You don't have to worry about that so much. You can basically start fresh. The most you smell is the paint from, the new walls and everything like that. But that is one thing that I love. Like I'm not gonna say bougie, but I like new things. So new home things, I like them to be like, knowing I was the first person in this house is like really a thrill for me.
No, there's a lot of thrill in that, especially the first person to use that tub. My gosh.
Yeah. So, next thing that's a good pro is you can choose everything, right? You can build it basically how you want it to within certain parameters, because not all builders are going to let you do whatever you want. Like you mentioned, if you're in like a subdivision or you're in a suburb, for example, there's HOAs that are like, you can't have an orange house. You can't paint your door bright red. You can't blah, 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 blah. You can't have a privacy fence, all those things. It's very common in new construction for you to have those restrictions, especially on the exterior of your home. But for the most part, the interior rules for your home are, you can do whatever you want, right? You can have any kind of appliances you want. You can have, basically you're building, choose your adventure. However you want your house to look, you can do those things within a certain cost.
Yes, your budget.
Right, because you can upgrade all day. But that's the other thing that's a pro for me, is that these upgrades can be tied into your mortgage. Which, if you're comfortable with a higher mortgage, you can absolutely do that. But one thing for me that makes sense is to get it done from the beginning, right? So like, I understand what you were saying about having a resold home. You basically have a shell. That shell you have to slowly build into what you would want over time, as opposed to having that thing from the very beginning. And with the shell, you can't build a basement into a shell. If it's no basement, it's no basement, right?
Well, that's true.
That's my thing.
That's true.
So it'd be nice to just be like, I want a basement. There's a basement there. Right? Oh no, she done rolled her eyes at me, guys. Moving right along. This is a really good one, Jamilah.
Okay.
More energy efficient building materials. So that's really important, especially nowadays, because of what we're facing with the climate crisis and things like that. You want to know that the choices you're making in your home are, first of all, going to be good for the earth. They're not going to be damaging to the earth, and they are going to allow you to have a more eco-friendly lifestyle as well. So you can choose appliances that use electric and not gas. All those things. Jamilah has something she wants to say, guys. Go ahead, Jamilah.
No, I don't. It's about design, and it's a pro. It's not a con.
It is a pro.
So I'll wait.
Okay. All right. There's no immediate. So overall, one of the pros, an overall pro for everything, is that there's no immediate projects that need doing for the most part. Like if you come into it, there's nothing you need to do. It's move-in ready.
Right.
You don't have to worry. Unless you're one of those people that you want to go ahead and paint right away or something like that. But for the most part, you're set.
So I think I can say this, since now you kind of segued right into it, move-in ready.
Yeah.
One of the biggest pros to a new construction home for me is having that cohesive design from the door.
Yeah.
So whereas if you are piecing things together, you bought something that was totally outdated, it's got good bones, whatever, you're working room by room. The likelihood of that design being cohesive is it's
small.
It's
going to be harder.
It's pretty small.
Unless you work with a designer, of course, who will be able to do that.
Right. But if you're, you come in, you got your design, even that eco-friendly design, everything is there.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
I'm not totally anti
Just kind of inside. Just kind of inside. Last one, home builder warranties, which is really important, especially for people who are like, the reason they don't want to get a home in the first place is because they don't want to worry about the upkeep. Most new builders will give you like a 5-year warranty on things around the house. They'll come back after like 6 months and fix certain things. They'll come back after a year and, you know, just make sure everything is still looking good. And then the warranties are all built into the house. So you don't have to worry about a lot of the stuff that, you know, you might have to worry about in a resold home for a good while.
Which is super dope.
A couple years. Yeah. Yeah.
That's super dope.
Yeah, I'm a fan. All right, Jamilah, your favorite part now.
Yes.
Let's talk about the cons.
Let's do it.
For new construction. Okay, so I've been through the process. I know the fun stuff, you know, being able to choose, okay, do I want a fireplace? Okay, do I want a soaker tub? Okay, blah, 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 blah. The cons are, the biggest con for me is the timeline, right? If you're going into a resold home, the home's already there. You don't got to wait for them to build it. Usually for new construction, it's 3 to 9 months wait. And that's from you putting down money to get started. And it depends on what season you start in. So
yeah,
I know that they're building houses down the street. They just started and they're going up pretty quick, but it's still the winter. So there's going to be, or it's going to be winter soon. So these are things that are going to cause, delays and everything like that. So it just depends on when you get in there. But that is a huge thing too, for people to consider. Timeline. Sometimes the weather's not on your side.
For people like me who have no patience.
Yeah. You want to, okay, we found the house we want. Let's move in. No, you have to wait 3 to 9 months to get in there.
Yeah, and then what if you change your mind in the process of
you have the wiggle room.
Planning.
And a good builder will let you know what your deadlines are for like when you can make changes. But yeah, you have to stick with something.
Okay.
Okay, next one is sometimes people get overwhelmed by all of the choices you have for personalization.
So like a diner menu?
I mean, sometimes it can feel like it. It can feel like it's overload of choices. So, you know, if you're one of those people that has like decision anxiety, this is probably a red flag because you're going to have a lot of choices you have to make and you have to stick with. So that might be a problem for people who just don't want to have to make those choices. You don't want to make a choice about whether or not you want to have an addition or you want a bathroom here, or you want this or that, you know, what kind of flooring, what kind of tile, what kind of backsplash, what kind of, all of that stuff you have to make decisions on. And there's not a whole lot of a window from like the time they show you these options to the time you have to make decisions on these options. I think it's like within like 2 or 3 weeks, you have to make a decision on that.
And stick with it.
Oh
boy. Yeah.
And unless you like are confident what your plan is, like what you want it to look like or what you want it to feel like or all those things, what your budget is most importantly, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time with those choices. So that's one thing. The next thing, every upgrade is going to cost you. It's going to cost you money, a lot of money.
You just hit a hot button for me.
It's real though. They will drive you crazy with these upcharges. For example, we decided not to get a finished basement because, you know, being that I'm a designer and he's a project manager. He's a project manager. We figured we could get the basement done at a more reasonable cost than what they were charging us. Turns out, we're probably wrong. But either way, that's something that if we would have chose to go with them for, it might have been folded into the mortgage, which is a pro, but we would have paid, you know, more in the long run. So that's one thing too. Like if you decide, I would like to have, you know, a nicer kitchen package, which everything is a package. Everything's like, you want soft closed doors. You want nice knobs versus like the old fashioned looking knobs. Everything is an upgrade. And so that's one thing that can get very exhausting very quick.
Here's what stresses me out the most about new construction homes. It's not the timeline. It's really not the choices per se, but when it comes to, we've had this conversation before about like new homeowners, and they were just pre-qualified for $250,000 or something.
Yeah.
And you think you're supposed to have the sun and the moon and the stars in your first house for $250,000.
Yeah.
Imagine being disappointed when you go out to see these homes and they don't have new floors or, you know, a fresh coat of paint or something like that. And then, you know, the buyers turn around and say, hey, I think we're going to go new construction.
Yeah.
Honey.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're going to get?
Well,
for whatever the standard model is for a new construction home is not what you think it is. Every single upgrade costs you. They get you when you come through the door.
Oh, with the base price. The base price. They're going to tell you what it is, stripped down to literally the lowest quality of everything.
This is not the carpet you want.
Right.
You want the carpet you saw in the model.
In the model.
This is not the countertop you want. You want the countertop you saw in the model.
Yep.
That is not the base price. You cannot afford all of the upgrades. Not with $250,000.
Yep.
And I'm not coming down at anybody, you know, for wanting that. But it is just it's a little depressing.
Well, I will say that our very first new construction was $250, and it was the size of my thumbnail. It was tiny, and we didn't have any.
Okay.
No, yes, it was. I think it was like less than 1,400 square feet, right? But it was on a huge lot.
Yeah.
So we had massive amount of grass that we didn't know, you know, how to maintain. My husband's walking around that big old. I think it was like 1/3 of an acre on like a walking mower.
Okay.
So it was, you know. Anyway, you can get something, right? If you have a smaller budget, you can get something, but we didn't have any upgraded floors. We didn't have any. So we had that project. Basically, the house we didn't inherit. We bought a new construction project. We didn't buy a new construction move-in ready. We're happy right from the gate home. Like even remotely. It was
your starter new construction home.
Yes.
Which, that's fair.
Yeah. Yes,
that's fair.
And even and piggybacking off of that, my next con, the median sales price of a new home as of 2022. You ready for this, Jamilah?
Come on now.
$423,300.
Just got a hot flash.
And I'm gonna tag my source right here on the screen, so you know I'm not making it up. That is the median price of a new construction home. Now, we don't get no specs on what this house looks like, but you're just the average, you know, family of four home is about $400,000. So that's cool, you know, because 2020 inflation, cost of materials, that's what a new construction home costs now, and not even like with all the bells and whistles. That's like a base.
Yeah.
For depending on, you know, the model and all that stuff. You can get a smaller one and probably be okay, but just to say,
can we insert crickets here?
Yep, that's good.
Okay.
All right. So next con, and I'm not coming down too bad because I love my neighborhood. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the next con is baby trees.
You don't even get to enjoy what you think those trees are going to look like in 20 years.
I'm not leaving because I want to see my trees.
You want 20 to 30-year-old trees. You don't want baby trees.
That is a huge con for me because although I love new construction and I am a suburban girl, right? I like going into a neighborhood and people are walking their dogs
with apple pies
down the down the trails, and you know, you see your neighbor. I'm not a neighbor person, so I'm not waving, but I see you. You know, I like the idea of my kids playing around in a neighborhood that is closed, and comfortable and feel safe, absolutely. So, but my biggest pet peeve are these baby trees that are just, it's not, you're not going to enjoy them to their fullest.
Those baby trees have aspirations to grow.
My children maybe will enjoy those baby trees.
Right. They're just as big as they are.
Right. So that's one big con is like, if you like developed landscaping, you can always invest in it.
Yeah.
There's always an option. I know that there's a site called, they're not a sponsor, but I've used them before, fastgrowingtrees.com. They sell you trees at the level of maturity you're looking for, right? So if you want a tree that doesn't look like a baby tree, but is like a little bit bigger, or, you know, it's going to grow a little bit bigger.
Are these trees real?
They are.
Because
I absolutely have used them to like rim out. We use them to do our landscaping in the backyard in the last house.
The way you said it, immediately I thought of the Lorax and the truffle trees. And you know, at one, because they knocked down all the trees, and they had the manufactured trees with the lights on it.
No, these were actual trees, not Lorax trees.
Okay.
But you can buy more mature trees. They do sell them.
No.
It's just you're $500 for a nice
I'm good.
medium, like a teenager tree, not a baby tree.
I'll go visit a tree for $5. Like, I won't pay $500 for a tree.
So if you can get past that con, you're probably in good shape. And then the last thing I'll say is that, I already said this, longer time to make design changes due to the higher long-term cost rather than, it being upfront built into the mortgage. So, you have to wait to get your living room to look like you want it to look because you have to probably save up for this or that or whatever the case. And so it's just a different approach to getting the design that you want. But yeah, those are the cons. I mean, even with that list though, Jamilah, I do not regret my new construction home.
I know you don't because you're on number 3.
Because I got spoiled. This is my husband's fault. Mason, this is your fault, okay? Because I had never lived in a new construction home. Like, it wasn't like my mom and, had us growing up in new construction. I have lived in pre-owned homes before, but our first house was a new construction home. And I was like, I ain't never going back. I'm not.
Well,
because I am the first person to have a bath in this bathtub. And I love that.
Listen, I'm the first person to have a bath in my bathtub because we renovated. So
one person's way to do it. It's not any worse or better.
I am not
than
against
another person.
I didn't even get a chance to share that I did work for a new builder, a new home builder.
Yeah, which one? You can't tell me.
No, I'm not doing that. But it was in my past real estate life, so I do have experience with it, and it was definitely a different caliber of home. And I thought it was great at the time. I thought it was the bee's knees, but my feelings changed the older I got.
The other thing that I will say to one of the things you said earlier is that I absolutely plan to build character into my home the way I want it.
Oh, girl. Okay. I'm glad
molding, crown molding.
I am so glad you brought that up.
Ceiling medallions, details like that. I'm absolutely going to do it in my own way.
I need to say this, and I hope you're okay with this. So I got to see Jazmyn's home via FaceTime. And Jazmyn's home is whiter than white.
It is.
And I was like, I don't even
It's
understand.
not even done yet.
Hold on. But I'm like, I don't understand, Jazmyn. I don't understand. If you get to choose all these colors and everything, why is your home so starkly white? And you know what? I absolutely applaud why it is white. And because Jazmyn is going to do the damn thing.
I'm going to do it myself.
What she needed was a blank canvas to work with, and she's about to turn it out. So
there you go.
I know all the characters going to be there.
Yeah.
It was just really surprising. And everybody's not like that. Like sometimes they get the white walls and it stays that way for 10 years.
Yeah. It goes from white to beige, and it's like, okay, this is uninteresting.
Right, but I know you're going to turn it out, and I cannot wait to see it. So it's a blank canvas for you.
It is
to play.
It absolutely is, and I'm like very, very excited to keep you guys all along the way on the ride or whatever. I am excited to show you how I'm going to change this new construction into, what it can be. So that's it. That's all my segment today, Jamilah. Thanks so much for participating.
I'm here for you always, and for the listeners and the watchers, But if you guys have any new construction stories, things that you have done to your home or something that might be a pro or a con that we missed, make sure you please drop your comments, especially on YouTube, but make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next episodes, because the content we're giving you, come on now.
I mean, honestly, what are you even doing? We need to, Patreon.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. This is Jamilah, your realtor.
This is Jazmyn, interior designer,
on the In Your Space podcast, and we will see you next time.
Bye.